go live. I hope we can go live. Perfect. So we are live now on YouTube. Perfect. Wow. Wonderful, my friends. Sorry about little bit. I accidentally put a personal meetup link on my now on YouTube. Sorry, there's a background. I'm really sorry. So, welcome, friends. I'm really sorry. There are some technical things issues were there. I accidentally put a wrong meetup link, and all my friends were waiting here for me, and I was in another room. So finally, we all are here. Welcome, my friends, and just let me quickly share my presentation screen. Let me hide the share, and let me quickly share it so I can. We have something very interesting today. Just a minute. Here we go. So you can see my screen. Liji, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So welcome, my friends. Welcome back. I'm Faraz Shaikh. I'm Faraz Shaikh from Saudi Arabia. Welcome to Saudi Arabia Microsoft Excel Power Platform Meetup. This is one place where we find infinite solutions and we connect, we share, we learn. And just to make sure that, let you know that this session is live streaming and getting recorded. And the recording will be available for you on the YouTube/Excel Exciting page. And definitely I'll be dropping the link, and the link is also available on the Meetup page. So you can always feel free to check that out. So just quickly sharing you what about our past meetups. We have some great meetups happen. You can definitely always scan your QR code at the code which is in the corner, and definitely go and see all these meeting recordings. And we also hold a mega event, mega summit, where we were invited around like 30 to 40 speakers. So we're talking about Excel, automation, data. That was massive mega event happened last year. So we hope we continue doing that soon. And that's what been hosted with my friend Elgar, who was from Azerbaijan. And these are some meetups in 2023. And we are hoping some more meetups to come up. And these are our upcoming sessions, which will be in the June and July. And definitely make sure that you scan the QR code, and you can definitely always go and enroll for these meetups. So it will be lovely to see you all over there. And I always invite, that whoever is there in the community would like to share their knowledge and share the knowledge. I would be really happy that you can always write back to me on my excelexciting@outlook.com, and we can definitely connect and fix up a time, and you can definitely share your superhero skills to us. So today we have a lovely guest from US, Liji Thomas, who will be talking about AI in Power BI. So let me just
we get the list name, the publisher list. So Z product, STP, PSO, A18 plus MH. We don't get the group. We create that downstream.
Yes, sorry about that. So let me welcome you, our guest on the hot seat over there, Miss Liji. And as I was telling, that Liji, I've been always following her through on LinkedIn, and she's been always posting about AI and Power BI, a lot of technology stuff, and she's also an MVP. And it's really honor to have her today. So I will let the floor leave for Liji, and she can just tell her about herself, and she can go ahead with the presentation.
Thank you, Faraz. May I share my screen?
Yeah, sure, please.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Faraz, for the warm welcome. It is a pleasure to be here with the community in Saudi Arabia. This is my first time speaking with this meetup group, and thank you for the warm welcome. So I will be speaking today about the capabilities of AI in the Power Platform sector. So Power BI is definitely a part of it, but in light of some recent announcements, specifically if you've been following Build for the last 2 days, you would be excited to see that there's a lot of releases and announcements around the AI space. So happy to share them with you and to discuss as well. So a little bit about myself. My name is Liji Thomas. I'm a manager with data and AI at Valorem Reply. We're based out of Central US. I'm an MVP in the AI space, and you're welcome to stay connected on LinkedIn or other social platforms. So a little bit in the agenda, we will start with taking a few steps back and talk about Microsoft's AI space, and the kind of offerings that they have, the workloads, and what the AI stack looks like before we delve into what have been some of the capabilities, AI capabilities in Power BI, and we look at some of the latest AI releases in the Power Platform suite. So let's get started. So this is the Microsoft AI stack at a very high level. So if you are not familiar with the Microsoft's AI capabilities, AI comes at various levels or tiers, depending on where you are in your journey, in your technical journey. What that means is, if you start right at the bottom layer, you see Azure Machine Learning. Now, typically, this is the workload, this is the products or services that data scientists would use to create custom machine learning models from scratch to solve specific problems or use cases. So Azure Machine Learning is a very powerful product. It is one of the flagship products for machine learning from Microsoft. Now, that said, Azure Machine Learning is not the only way that we can solve these problems. At the next level, we see that there is customizable AI models, or what is better known as cognitive services. So we'll talk a little bit in depth about these. So these fall under vision, speech, language, decision, and as of late, OpenAI service. And this provides a higher level of abstraction than Azure Machine Learning. What I mean by that is, to deal with Azure Machine Learning, to be able to use Azure Machine Learning to build solutions, you need to have in-depth machine learning skills and technical skills to be able to do that. If you do not have machine learning expertise, it is still possible for you to build AI solutions. If you come from, let's say, a developer background and you know how to call an API, and you still can build AI solutions if you use the cognitive services layer. Now, the layer above that, the applied AI services, is an additional layer of abstraction. What that means is there are certain products that are suited for or specifically created to be applied in certain business cases. For example, let's say you have a document of like images, or let's say handwritten text, and a very rich document. And you typically use products that are available in the market for OCR recognition, for converting that into text, and so on and so forth. This is a very common scenario across several industries and use cases. So Form Recognizer is your go-to workload for those kind of situations. So Form Recognizer internally, it uses multiple cognitive services to achieve this output. So consider Form Recognizer, Video Indexer, another great product. Video Indexer internally, it uses multiple AI services, but it's packaged as a product for you. If you feed in a video, to upload a video to Video Indexer, it will provide multiple insights. Who spoke at what time? What did they say? What was the transcript of the video? When did this person appear in the video? So on and so forth. So extremely powerful products at that layer, applied AI services. Now, above that is where you find the application platform, the ones that you're familiar with. So Power BI, Power Apps, Power Pages, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, what we better known as the Power Platform Suite. These products, now you know, brings in all these AI goodness from the lower tiers. So some of the features that you will see today in Power BI or in Power Apps or in Power Automate, now you know where that comes from. So it comes from core AI services that are doing the rounds. So these have been integrated into Microsoft's suite of products, which includes the Power Platform and several other products as well, as you see. And then at a very high level, you have the application layers. If you want to build custom applications using these, any of one or more of these stacks, it is possible for you. The same AI capabilities are now infused into Microsoft 365, D365, and in any of the solutions that you build as well. So I hope that makes sense. And I will move on to the next one. So diving a little deeper into the cognitive services piece. So in our next section, we will talk about how AI services can be used in Power BI. But before that, let's talk a little bit about what these AI services are, or where they came from and what they are able to do with that. So for example, we all know that today it is no longer a hype. AI is no longer a hype. It is as real as it can be. And world over, everyone acknowledges the opportunity with AI. And businesses are looking forward to implement AI in their applications. Now, that said, there are some challenges with building AI solutions. Some of these challenges are: you have integration with data. Data quality is a challenge. Sometimes the challenge is app development skills. And sometimes the challenges are data science skills. So these primary challenges around building AI solutions, these are what technical leaders mostly deal with. Now, what if we had AI capabilities or AI workloads that we could use even if we did not have advanced machine learning skills? So that is the benefit of cloud AI services, which is a more industry generic term that they use. So in cloud AI services, what they say is, using cloud AI services, you can quickly and rapidly build AI solutions, applications, even without advanced data science skills. So you see some of the benefits with regards to that. You have faster deployment, you have better troubleshooting, you have greater scale, and you have greater options for building AI functions. So in our world, in Microsoft's world, Microsoft has been leading this area for the last couple of years of research, and we'll talk about that a bit as well. But based on some of the industry surveys, like this is one from Gartner, it shows that Microsoft is a leader in the space of cloud AI developer services. Now, how did Microsoft get to this space or to this spot? Now, long before AI was even a thing, it's taking up a lot of news, especially since Jan of this year. But even decades before that, Microsoft had started investing in Microsoft Research. So this is across MSR centers across the globe. And the output of this research, they were able to develop very powerful algorithms, some of which attained human parity. What I mean by that is some algorithms, they perform at the same level as a human would. Some of these are speech recognition, machine translation, machine reading comprehension, conversational Q&A, and image captioning. Or in other words, today, an algorithm can caption an image just as good as a human can. So that is the quality of these algorithms that they have developed. Now, what did they do with this? So one of the first things that they do is internally, they started integrating this with all the applications that they had. So Microsoft creates a suite of applications, especially around M365. So if you spin up Word, or you're using Outlook or SharePoint or Excel or PowerPoint for that matter. And I use this for creating my PowerPoint app today as well. You have designer ideas on the right, you have analytics, you have insights, all of those AI capabilities, the clutter that you see in Outlook, those AI features are under the hood coming from their own research. Now, they did not stop there. What they did additionally is that they released this to the world so that developers like you and me can actually use this to build powerful applications. This is where Azure Cognitive Services come from. So if you remember the second stack right from the bottom, that Azure Cognitive Services today is a pre-built AI model that is available for us to use in our application. So we can build powerful AI solutions like Microsoft. Now, a little bit into the depth. So cognitive services, as you saw, has got various categories. So vision, it deals with computer vision, the ability to see like a human can. So imagine you walk into a store and the computer vision algorithm will be able to detect the labels of the products, the images of the products, be able to identify what that is. So all the computer vision capabilities fall under the vision category. Under speech, you have text to speech, speech to text, speech recognition, translation, etc. Under decision, you have moderation, you have metrics analysis, etc. Under language, you have conversation language, if you're familiar with chatbots and those kind of applications. OpenAI, you have advanced language, natural language capabilities. If you've played with ChatGPT, those kind of possibilities. So it really, by using these AI services, it gives your apps the ability to see, hear, speak, and search and understand and make good decisions. So just for example, under each of these categories, you have additional APIs or AI capabilities. And I'm just scratching the surface here in terms of just talking to you about, let's say, language. So under language, if you use the language service today, you can extract information, you can classify that piece of text, you can understand conversations, you can do question answering, you can translate it into the hundreds of languages that Azure supports. So you get an idea of how powerful these services are. So this is really the Microsoft AI stack. You understand there are various levels of operation. The ones that are even above, with the Power Platform layer upwards, citizen developers can use that. Then you have one for pro developers, you have data scientists, and so on and so forth. I will pause to take any questions or any comments on this before I proceed.
Hassan has a question. Sure, Hassan, please go ahead.
Yes.
Or maybe
Yeah,
Hassan
if
you
you'd
can
like
put it in the chat, no problem. We can check it out, and just checking on YouTube. So far, nothing. I think we'll get some questions more.
I think I see Hassan's question.
Yeah.
It says people who use Microsoft Azure, how do they escape vendor lock, which is a problem with a lot of cloud providers? I am not fully sure what vendor lock refers to, but if your question is how do you use these capabilities outside Microsoft Azure, or how can you use this along with your AWS apps, GCP apps, I can talk to that. So these cognitive services that we just discussed right now, let's say vision, speech, language decision, OpenAI services, they don't necessarily have to, yes, these are Azure Cognitive Services, but you always have the opportunity to, or avenue to even host this on-prem or outside the cloud. So you can do that, and the hosting is completely up to you. And then you can use that in any application or integrate that with any application of your choice. So yes, the goodness comes from Azure. It is built for enterprise readiness. You have security, privacy, compliance, everything come out of the box. But the final decision is up to the user who would want to use it. So if you do not want to host it ultimately in the cloud for whatever compliance reasons, operational reasons, you still have the provision to use these AI services outside that. I don't know if that answered your question, Hassan, or if anyone had any other questions as well. Okay, thank you. All right. I will move us along here, just taking a look at the time. All right. Okay, so going forward, so similarly, AI in Microsoft Power BI, right? So AI is definitely changing how businesses understand and they use the data. So a lot of companies, they get very useful insights. It boosts their competitiveness if you use AI. So Microsoft's Power BI internally uses AI to create easy to understand reports. So this helps businesses see hidden patterns in their data, makes decision making quicker, etc. So which is why, Gartner, a very respected analyst, they recognize Microsoft as a leader in this space. Again, on the top right quadrant, you see Microsoft there, because Power BI is very widely used and it offers very valuable features like data preparation, interactive dashboards, enhanced analytics, whatnot. So companies use AI to better understand their customers and markets. So Power BI has got specific features that allow users to, easily add AI-driven visuals to the reports. And it's using some of these machine learning algorithms that we just saw right now. And that is going to help you study your data and improve your decision-making capabilities. So some of the options that you have. Now, one option is you can create cognitive service resource in Azure. You get the API key. You can use Power Query to connect to the API. You get the data. You do all the heavy lifting yourself. That is certainly an option for you to pursue. Now, if you are comfortable working directly with the APIs, yes, that works fine. But if you're not, you still have an option called Power BI's AI Insights. Now, this is integrated with other Microsoft AI services. And that way, you get access to some of these underlying AI services, even without having to deal with these APIs directly. You don't need to call the API. You don't need to work around the API itself. Some of these are inbuilt into Power BI. And now, this is not a very new feature. This has been out there for a couple of years, so you might be fairly familiar with this. AI Insights has got two key features, one around text analytics and second around custom vision. Text analytics, as we discussed, it's specifically to do with or to deal with insights around text. So if you give it a piece of text, let's say reviews or social media posts or whatnot, it will understand the sentiments, the key phrases, you can detect the languages, everything from that piece of text. Custom vision, same thing. The data is an image. So if you give it an image, it can, do a lot of things with that. So text analytics, these are the specific, again, features in text analytics. So sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, language detection. So if you look at sentiment analysis, so I would rather show you this link, which I think is a fantastic link to just walk you through what those features are. And Microsoft does a fairly good job of documenting this as well. So I can drop a link, this link in the chat if this is going to be of help to you. So this is how you would use AI Insights in Power BI Desktop. Again, it's been around for a couple of years, so you're probably familiar with this as well. So if you go into your transform this, you have under add column, you see these features here. This is specifically from where you would add text analytics, or you would add vision or Azure machine learning. We will not cover Azure machine learning, but then you know now that it is one of the most powerful AI models that are, or services that are available. So if you want to work with Azure machine learning within Power BI, it is possible for you to do so. But today we'll talk about text analytics and vision specifically. So using text analytics, let's start with text analytics. These are the three main features with text analytics. You have sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, and language detection. Let me talk about each of this. So sentiment analysis. Let's assume you get a piece of text. Let's say it's a customer review. I was staying at your hotel last week, and then I liked the accommodation and I did not like the food service menu, whatever that may be. So sentiment analysis, if you give it a piece of text, it will return a sentiment score for you. And that score is somewhere between 0 to 1. 0 is indicative of a negative sentiment. 1 is indicative of a positive sentiment. It says somewhere in between, let's say you get a 0.5 or 0.6, that's more of a neutral sentiment. Typically not much of value to you, but more of a 0 or a 1 will be of value to you. So you can understand from the score that it returns if your customer was happy with you or not. So similarly, key phrase extraction. So let's say you give it a piece of text, it can clearly identify in that piece of text some key phrases, some patterns, some mentions of some trends, some specific preferences. Sometimes it's important to extract these key phrases from customer feedback or social media posts. Language detection. So give it a piece of text and it will determine the language for you. So it will come back with the language name, the ISO code, and so on and so forth. So you can imagine using this in multilingual environments. Let's say the customer support, the reviews that you got was in a non-native language, is in a language different from yours, and you had a bilingual customer at your restaurant who gave you a review. So it is able to even detect and translate that language for you. So these are some of the text analytics features that are available. And you see here that the reason I pull this up is there are so many caveats to this that you probably need to be aware of while you invoke these services. For example, using text analytics or vision features requires Power BI Premium. So you get a detail of everything that we just discussed so far. Vision is, this is the only thing under vision where you will be able to tag images. So tag image function returns tags based on 2000 recognizable objects. What that means is there are some predefined vision models that have recognition capabilities for some of the objects. So if you upload an image with any of these objects, it will out of the box recognize these for you. If you need to do any custom vision, that is also possible. So you have computer vision, you have custom vision, and that falls under that. So you need to train it accordingly. So it's fairly simple to invoke this or to integrate with this. All you need to know is what your use case is and what the capabilities of the AI stack are. So once you bring this in, you can add it and then you can invoke, and you'll see some of the features with that. And as I said, Azure machine learning is always an option for you. If you see that some of the capabilities with this is beyond what you want to achieve, you can always go for Azure machine learning. So some of the use cases, right? So you can use this as for customer feedback analysis, market research, brand reputation management, fraud detection. Anywhere you want to analyze a piece of content, text content for any reason, you can use text analytics. I wanted to show you a quick example of something that we had done. So this was a review, a customer review that we had done. We took in a few customer reviews and we created this POC. You can see that we were able to identify the sentiment score. We were able to identify total reviews, positive reviews in that, negative reviews in that, the sentiment score distribution. What was the most popular in terms of the score. So what was the most popular item on the menu? What was the least popular? Some of those high rated menus. And it's also kind of, it depends on your creativity. You can plot the visuals accordingly and show how the sentiments have sort of changed with your customers over a period of time. So that's one example of what we had done recently. And then similarly, on the custom vision as well, the computer vision side as well, you see multiple use cases of this in so many other verticals, like in the transportation sector, in the agriculture sector, retail sector. So imagine, so this is one of a very fairly common one. So if you want to make data-driven decisions on like what items are there on your shelf, what needs to be replaced, what inventory needs to be stacked, etc. So those are very valid use cases in the retail environment, in manufacturing, in insurance industry, car damage detection, etc. So many use cases for custom vision that you can now directly do inside Power BI. So in the same example, I want to take that one step ahead, and let's say we did some social media. So we had social media posts where there were a lot of images of some of these menu items, and you see how they were able to identify what that menu item is and tag them as well. Any questions? Excuse me.
Yeah, there's no questions in the chat right now, but Frederick is requesting, can you tell more about image analysis?
Yeah. So can you explain what specifically you wanted to know?
Frederick, feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yeah, so I wanted to know how to use this case of AI, how to use it to analyze image. Yes.
Frederick, we are sorry, we cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying, how can you use image in the space of AI? How can you use AI to analyze image?
We're extremely sorry, Frederick. There's a lot of disturbance in your audio. Could you please don't mind? Can you please drop your question in the chat? We will.
Okay. Okay.
All right. We'll get to Frederick's question at the end, and I will move us along in the interest of time. So these are some of the features that were already there in Power BI. Has been around for a long time. Let's talk about some of the newly released AI features. So Power Platform, interestingly, is one of those products where we have started to see a lot of AI infusion and integration in the past couple of years, starting from 2019 onwards, from the advent of AI Builder. If you see, there are a lot of AI features that have come into the Power BI, the Power Platform suite. And as of late, just a few months back, you'll see that each of these products, Power Virtual Agents, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI included now, in the last couple of weeks, have a lot of AI capabilities now integrated as part of those products. So we quickly see what those capabilities are. So the first thing starts with the discussion of copilots. Now, copilots brings AI-powered assistance directly into the app itself. So consider the easiest way to say this is, imagine you have a ChatGPT kind of assistance within each and every application. So you have a Copilot in Power Apps, one in Power Automate, one in Power Virtual Agents, one in Power BI as well. So this actually kind of helps with the creation of the apps. And once you've created the app as well, how to better use that app. So one aspect of the AI is the introduction of the Copilots. So Copilots come out of the box with the product itself. For example, in the case of Power Apps. So if you're looking at the video there, you see that that is happening in Power Automate. So in Power Apps or Power Automate now, this will help you create these apps quickly and in terms of natural language. You just need to tell it what kind of an app you need, and it will create it for you. So that is one aspect where you have co-pilots to sort of improve the experience for the app maker itself. But then in addition to that, what can you do with the advanced AI capabilities in each of this? So for example, let's talk about Power Apps and Power Automate. You may be familiar with AI Builder, which has been around for some time now. AI Builder now has advanced GPT models, which you can use to build far more powerful solutions. So GPT is generative pre-trained transformer. It is the technology that powers from OpenAI that powers the ChatGPT and other applications as well. So AI Builder now has these OpenAI services using which even if you are building low-code, no-code apps, you have the generative AI models or these AI services, which you can bring along to it. So if I'm going to quickly switch my screens to show you what that looks like. All right, let me try this. This is me inside the Power Apps. And inside the Power Apps suite, and I've pulled up the AI models, the AI Builder space. And if you scroll up here a little, you will see all of these AI models from PowerBI, from Power Apps that has been around for some time. Now, I am looking for the one that relates to here. If you see, well, it's still in preview, but then you see Azure OpenAI service, create text, answer questions, summarize documents, etc. So let me quickly show you what the kind of solutions that you can build using this. So you have these samples here. It can summarize a piece of text. So if you can even test this out right here. If you provide a piece of text and it will summarize text for you, it can help respond to a complaint. So you're giving it specific instructions, just the way you would interact it with ChatGPT, right? You would respond to a complaint, helps you create blog posts. So if you write a fairly good prompt as to what your blog post needs to be about, etc., it can create a good blog post for you. So I don't know if you want to try any of this right now. So let's say I go back and I'm gonna, okay. Let's say I'm gonna try start of topic. So OpenAI capabilities in Power BI. I just need to Power Platform include, right? It was right, including Power BI, Power Apps, Power Virtual Agents. Okay, let's see if it does a good job with that. Might need to give it a little more, but in the interest of time, we will see what it does with that. So you would see that in terms of responsible AI, it already has literature. AI generated content can have mistakes, make sure it's accurate and appropriate before using it, etc., etc. And you see the sort of blog posts that it is generating for you. You can create synopsis, podcasts, blog posts, newsletters, whatnot using this. So it depends on your use case, what your specific problem statement that you're trying to solve for us, but you get the idea. So you can create blog posts, you can extract information. You can extract information from a piece of text. So this is a piece of text that I gave it. You'd see that there's a lot of content in that, but then it extracts information like this is your container numbers, this is a registration numbers, etc. This is extract key information, the one that we discussed previously. So you can classify. So let's say I give it a piece of text. Here, it will categorize the text based on these categories. Just so all of these instructions are completely customizable. So you tell it what you want it to solve for you based on your business case, and it will try that out. So I would encourage you to test this out, to explore this, to play around with it and see the way that it behaves. So a start of text. So this is a classic sentiment analysis of text. So I did this So this is something very, very trivial. It'll be very tricky if you try to, give it a long text and see if it can really understand the sentiment behind that piece of text. So here it says negative possible subject causes poor customer service. So you understand how deep it is really understood the natural language capabilities, extract action items from text. So you get the idea. There's just a lot that you can even try with AI capabilities, especially using OpenAI and GPT capabilities inside this. So let me switch back to the slides here. I think I advanced here a little further. Yeah, so that's the part on Microsoft Power Apps and on Power Automate we were talking about. The next one, similarly in Power Virtual Agents. So Power Virtual Agents.
Power Virtual Agents continues to lead the industry.
I need to mute that for a second.
And now
So it allows me to talk. Okay, hopefully that works. Sorry about that. Okay.
Power Virtual Agents.
So Power Virtual Agents now is the product that allows you to build chatbots or virtual assistants from scratch. And Power Virtual Agents also has got advanced AI features inside that. Most importantly, it allows you to create conversation boosters. What that means is, typically in Power Virtual Agents, if you've used this, you need to build out all the questions, the answers, and everything that the bot will answer. But today, you don't have to do that. Let's say you have a corporate website or an FAQ site that you just need to pass the URL of that site to Power Virtual Agents, and on its behalf, it will abstract all the information for you. So if you allow it to just see that URL, just pass that single URL to the Power Virtual Agents, you can use that agent to start answering any questions based off that URL. So it is that intelligent. So it's still in preview mode, but that's probably a very exciting feature for Microsoft Power Virtual Agents. Power BI. So recently released Copilot features in Power BI, meaning you can use the Copilot features for doing quick DAX measurements as well, I think. So using Copilot, you can describe the visuals and insights you're looking for. Copilot will create this for you. You can generate and edit DAX calculations, create summaries, ask questions about the data, all in conversational language. So there is a lot of links out there, a lot of documentation out there, especially the quick measure suggestions for DAX. Take a look at it. So that is all that I had for today, I believe. And that brings us to the end of the session. We have time for a few questions, if you have, or if you have any other thoughts or comments to share as well. And that is my contact information. Back to you, Faraz.
Thank you, Liji. Thank you so much. It was really lovely. There are some questions which are coming up in the chat. Do we have Copilot in Power BI?
Yes, you do. So yes, you do have Copilot. I believe you would need premium subscription for that. Please check out the documentation. But yes, a Copilot in Power BI has been released. At least the DAX part under quick suggestions, you will be able to get that.
Liji Thomas, I'm Shamshir here. Can you tell me Power BI desktop, the Copilot is available?
I believe it is Power BI desktop. Yes. Yes. Let me look that up for you real quick, but I believe it is Power.
Yeah, it is for the desktop as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Did Frederick come back with this question? How to AI to analyze?
Yeah. How to AI to analyze the image?
Okay, I think Frederick's question is, how do you use AI to analyze images? So that is based on advanced algorithms that, like I said, give you the history of the way that these algorithms have been created, right? It started from the research centers and they've used it across the across their products. So those same AI algorithms, advanced AI algorithms, is what is now fed into products like Microsoft Power BI and a lot of other products as well. So that is how it is able to do custom vision or computer vision. If you are interested in the algorithm itself, you might want to read up on some research papers, or you can even create your own computer vision model to be able to do those algorithms. Cognitive services is a good place to start. You have a good studio, you have playground. Vision Studio is a place I would recommend if you want to just play around and see how this computer vision works. And just know that those are the very same features that are plugged and played into a lot of these products of Microsoft as well. You're welcome.
Thank you. So I think we are just going to hit the clock, and so we'll be just signing out from the YouTube right now, but we'll be still on Zoom. So Liji, thank you so much for joining and coming for our meetup, and it was really a pleasure to have you over here. So my friends, please don't go out from the Zoom. Please be back. We are just going to say, we are just going to be signing out from the YouTube. But before I sign out from YouTube, Liji, I always, ask our presenter to say something, last word, some nice, anything, maybe from your own, some quotes or something which you can inspire people. That I will be really happy to hear from you.
Absolutely. So one, I will tell you, and I'm a little biased to this myself. If you've been following, the news in the digital world for the past couple of months now, there's been a lot of advancement in the space of AI. And if you've been following the news from Build, from Satya Nadella for the last Satya Nadella, and a lot of major leaders as well, you know that this is no longer it's as real as it can be. Like, there's no better way to say this. My request is, my ask is that you stay curious, you stay cautious as well. It is important for us in terms of any technology to stay curious and cautious. Even if you do not work in this space, there are multiple ways in which you can get involved. Staying informed is one of the first ways you can get involved. So know how AI is applied in your specific area, in the area that you are working today, in the products that you are using today. It is good to understand and to know how AI will improve your productivity, will bring you efficiencies, and will help you do a much faster and quicker and more efficient job than we have only dreamt for all these years. So AI is all pervasive. It will I'd be curious to know if there is one product that will escape AI. So every product of every company, like Sundar Pichai says, will have to be integrated with AI. For those in the AI space, it's a very exciting space to be, but I feel like even for those who do not deal with this on a daily basis, it is good to stay informed and to understand and know what these capabilities are. And I say this even for people outside the IT field. I say this for doctors, for teachers, for anyone, irrespective of what your role and what your profession is. My children who study in school, it is important to just know, stay informed on what these developments are. It's some of those things that I'm seeing today, I would probably never have guessed it would come out in the next, before the next 10 years. Like, it is that amazing. So it is good to know what is going on, stay informed. And if you'd like, get involved as much as possible as well. But just know that there's so much happening in the AI space. And I'm very excited for how AI will integrate with every other suite. I'm not a Power Platform or a Power BI developer, but just seeing the intersection of my technology with everything else is very, very exciting for me. I don't know if I did a good job with that for us, but
that was excellent. That's really nice. So Liji and others, please stay back over here in Zoom. So we are just going to say signing out from YouTube. Thank you, my friends. Take care, and we'll be seeing you soon in my next meetup. Take care. Bye.
bye-bye.